This is my updated TBR cart tour. Alright, so up here we have Sears, which is a Greek mythology book, and I love Greek mythology. And I can't wait to read that. And down here we have a couple of self-help books because I'm trying to get into self-help. Over here we have The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne, the Barnes & Noble special editions, which are so pretty. Then we have What the River Knows, which I'm super excited to read. Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I am still not sure what it's about, and I've had it for a while, but I will be reading it soon, hopefully. And The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan. And that is the only Rick Riordan book I haven't read yet, and I'm super excited to. Then we have the first book in the Zodiac Academy series, and I've been seeing everybody reading this series, so I'm super excited to get into it, and I have to get the rest of the books. I really want to binge read this series. Then we have The Year of the Reaper, which was a gift to me, and A Study in Drowning, which I found interesting, so I decided to buy the first 3 books in the City of Bones series because I've heard such good things about the series, and there are a lot of them, so I can't wait to get into this world. Then we have Stay With Me by Tashi Buchian right over here. I've read 2 other Tashi Buchian books. I think those are the only 2 other books she's released, and I love them. Funny Story by Emily Henry. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and It Starts With Us, which were both gifts, and I've never read a Colleen Hoover book before, so I guess those will be my first. Beach Read by Emily Henry, Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer, which is part of a trilogy. I'm not sure if there's going to be another book in this series. I'm sorry that the lighting isn't great, but it's pretty dark, so I'm trying to rapid fire through these. Then we have Forever Never by Lucy Score and The Worst Best Man by Lucy Score. I've read 5 of her books otherwise, and I absolutely love her writing, so I can't wait to read these 2. Then we have Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan, which I'm also excited to get into because I watched the movie and absolutely loved it. And Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I am waiting to get the rest of the books in this series in this cover, which is so pretty, before I read the series because I love the Chestnut Spring series, and I read Wild Love and love that too. Then we have book 1, 3, and 5 in the Magnolia Park series. I just need to get books 2 and 4 before I can finally binge read the series, and I've been hearing so many good things about it, so I can't wait to read it. Then we have The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. Good Girl Complex, Bad Girl Reputation, and The Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy, and I cannot wait to read all of these books. Then we also have Hate Mail, which I love the cover of personally. Go check that out. It's really cute, and I can't wait to read this one. Then we have Persuasion by Jane Austen and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen because I'm trying to get into the class. Turning it. Alright, let's go from the bottom up now since I'm already sitting down. We have When the Moon Hatched, which took over my For You page for a long time. My Lady Jane, I absolutely loved the first season. I really hope they're going to make a second season. Go watch that if you haven't. Then we have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Tomorrow, which I cannot wait to read because I've heard really good things about that book. I'm not sure what it's about though. And A Novel Love Story by Ashley Paulson, her newest book. I read The 7-Year Slip by her and absolutely loved it. Then we have Throttled, the first book in the Dirty Air series. I have read Lauren Asher's Dreamland Billionaire series and the first book in her Lakefront Billionaire series. I have the second book, cannot wait to read that one. Then we have The Game Changer by Lana Ferguson, my first ever Lana Ferguson book, which I cannot wait to read as well. And then we have Runaway Love, which I think is a single dad romance, which I'm excited to read. I've been reading a lot of those lately. Also, those sprayed edges, I mean, come on. I am a sucker for sprayed edges. Sorry about the bad lighting. Again, it's getting dark. And now we have Out on a Limb, which I did not know anything about. I just thought it was a really cute cover and much cuter than the UK version, so I wanted to get it. Then we have the Barnes & Noble special edition of The Fiancé Dilemma, Forget Me Not, Full Measures, and Unsteady. Then we have the last book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, which I am absolutely terrified of reading. 5 Survive, another Holly Jackson book, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I've already read Hunger Games. I am terrified to read the rest of the series. Then we have Stars and Smoke, which I don't think I'll be reading for a long time. Scarlet, the second book from the Lunar Chronicles. You've Reached Sam, a signed edition and with sprayed edges. Vow of Thieves, the second book from the Dance of Thieves duology. Anne of Green Gables, books 1 to 3, and The Sky is Everywhere, which I'm also terrified to read. Then we have the Six of Crows duology. I'm really glad that I read Shadow and Bone before I'm going to read this series, and I'm super excited to read this series. Then we have These Hollow Vows and Our Violent Delights. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition. That's why it's this height difference. Then we have Defy the Night. I'm super excited to read this. I think it's a trilogy. Rhapsodic. I'm excited for the Enemies to Lovers. And the first book in the Bewitched series, Bewitched, which I'm not sure what it's about. I'm not sure what this is about either, but I'm excited to read both of them. Then we have the first book in the Twin Crowns trilogy, which I'm super excited to read, but I want to get the other 2 books in the series first. The book Serpent and Dove, I think. Yeah, Serpent and Dove, it's called. And The Scarlet Veil, which apparently you're supposed to read this series before you read this series. And I'm super excited to read this series. And that is my TBR cart tour. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, go check out my other videos.